It's not one of those sites where you post your carvings and you know, people have posted their carvings, but they ask questions about them. So you just can't post it so that people can comment. It's so they do ask questions about it and stuff. And it's a real good site, and we get some very good discussions. And there you go. There's the hat. Well, we're starting the hat. In other words, we're getting it. And it's a good site and good good discussions. We throw questions out there, and we've got a lot of good carvers and expert carvers that can answer a lot of questions for you. And so if you're not a member, please join. And it's not about getting members, folks. It's just it's if you join, it's about learning. It's about answering a lot of questions that maybe you have concerning carving or anything like that. In other words, we try to do our best. All right, now of course we come up here, we do the same thing. I'm able to talk about a lot of things that I do not mention on Facebook with my YouTube viewers. There's a lot of things that I never mentioned this about my possibly, well, maybe my future daughter-in-law. I just try to mention it to whatever. I don't like posting too many personal things. I mean, if they're funny and stuff like that, yeah. But I try to kind of keep things at a minimum on Facebook, because you don't know who is listening or watching or whatever. See how I just go around there? See that? See how I just go around it? And then I come back and I bring that down. Now I'm gonna have to bring this, I gotta get in here and do, so this can come forward a lot more too. The hat can. He would naturally, Dapper Dan would have to have a hat on. Now, for those of you that are possibly young watching this, you may not know what the word dapper means. We used to call people that years and years ago. If he's a dapper fella, that means he kind of thinks he's a ladies' man and a lover and all that stuff. And they used to call him dapper, you know, dapper guys. They were dapper, and it's kind of a cute term that was used. I guess that was a 20s term, or no, in the 20s they had what was known as flappers, and they were dancers, but it might be a, okay, there we go. Dapper Dan. There was years ago, maybe some of you older ones that are watching this right now, we used to, you people have so much available to you today. Even men, you know, they have their own cosmetics, they have their own stuff. But years ago, there was when we were young, we used it was for our hair, it was called butch pomade. And it was like a jelly almost, and we would put that in our hair to make our hair stand up and do things. It was a butch pomade, we would call it. And it was almost like Vaseline. In fact, I think it almost was Vaseline, and it had a different pink color to it. And we put that stuff in our hair, and it'd make your hair stand up, because back then we had what was called butch haircuts. So they invented this butch pomade, and all it was, I think it was just a form of Vaseline, and it had a smell to it. All right, here we go with our hat. Now we're getting closer. I'm gonna bring this down a lot back here. It's called butch pomade, and we used to use that stuff on our hair, and then you really have to wash it to get it out. It was like like glue. It was really. And what I'm talking about, a lot of you older people remember that very well, older men especially. And like I said, if you got to the ingredients and looked at the ingredients of it, you're dealing with just Vaseline. It had a little smell to it and everything like that. All right. Now, I'm going to take a little bit more off the top. Here before I start doing the. Dapper Dan would have a hat. He would. Okay, let me thin that up a little bit more. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and come down here because we want to start. First of all, let's see, before we do anything, let's do this first. Let's go ahead and make we're making our nose. We just keep cutting on both sides of it. We put our nose somewhere like right in there, in other words. So we cut in, we cut down. Now we make our nose, of course, bigger, a little bit bigger than normal at first. And I come to the sides of the nose and I just sort of I always make it bigger and then I cut it down. You can remove wood, but you can't always add to it. So if you see, just sort of and right there I can cut a little bit off right there. There we go. See that? See as it goes there. Cut on the sides a little bit. Okay. Trying to make these as easy as possible for you to see. We got to bring all this down a little bit. And we come on the side, of course, over here, and we cut down, because this will be the hair and the ears over on this side. And we cut and remove this wood in here. And we do the same thing over here. We just come on the side and we cut. And with a knife, I use the push cut to come up here and remove that wood in there. I'm just cutting a little bit underneath here to bring more depth to the face, you see? And we cut in here, make a big cut in there, and make a big cut in there. See? You got your face. In fact, I can even cut a little bit more off of the nose right in here. Like I said, you can make the nose bigger, and now I'm going to come over here and just come down where I'm going to make my ear. And I cut right there, and then I cut this to separate the hair from the ear. Now, of course, the ear is too long, so we're going to cut down like that. And we're going to kind of come that ear's got to come down a little bit for the top, just like that. We do the same over here. We just always make it a little bit bigger. And cut. Remove that wood. And of course, this has to be removed down here. Here like this. Just kind of, you just shape the ear, kind of round it off just a little bit. They're taking off of the, so okay, now that's sticking out too far. I'm gonna come across here and cut this just right in here. There we go. See that? See how it brings the depth out in the as you go underneath here, brings the depth out in the face. Just like that. See that? Okay. Now let's... Of course, he's going to have a smile. Dapper Dan would have a smile because he thinks he's a ladies' man. So let's go ahead and draw our little age lines right here. We cut down, and then we come on this side, and we cut in. I like to cut them deep. I do. Come back, and with the tip of the knife, come up here like this. There we go. Now, basically, we draw a little smile on him. And we cut that little smile. You want to be easy on this now. Very easy when you do this. You do not want to Here we go. See? I'm going to come a little bit underneath here. Take some off in there. Take some off there. Get a little bit more. Look at that. See? So Dapper Dan would have he'd have a smile on his face because he's fixing to go out to be with the ladies, or so he thinks. Okay. Now we got to put old clothes on him. Okay. All right. Let me kind of come back in here. There we go. And come back in here. But Dan is all ready for his big date. I remember at a time when, well, the times have changed, but you courted a girl back then, and that's what this kind of is insinuating. These days, I don't know, these girls, hate to say it, these girls run after these boys. Don't even have to court them. They run after these boys. Well, when I was, I guess they did in a way, but we had parents that were very strict about a lot of things, and okay, I'm going to go ahead and establish my hand right here. We had to court a girl, go to their house and meet the parents and do all that stuff. They don't do that anymore. It's I mean there may be some that do it, but I don't think it's as prevalent today as it was back then. Back then, marriages were staying together, and you had a mother and a father. So I'm gonna come down here and cut these little lines for the middle, the crouch. I cut them deep just to kind of give it a little flare. Just like that, see? Now, what would Dan be wearing? I'll come back here and just cut a little bit right there. Cut that back just a little bit on it. What would Dan be wearing? Let's see. Let's see, Dan. Let me go ahead and make these cuts right. These are wrinkles. Cuts right there. And we make just some cuts there. You make a deeper cut right in there, sort of give that elbow a stretch right in there. Now let's see. Dan, to me, would have a. Let's bring this down just a little bit. Dan would have a. He'd probably have a black jacket on or something. And let's just go ahead and let's just do this and come down here like that. Let's see now. Now, let me see. Yeah, let's do this for a minute. Let's just draw it across there. It's just cut. He's going to have a. Okay, that comes across here.